Alright, welcome back to Game 6 in this Best of 7 series for the Best of Asia tournament for Age of Empires 4. So we've got Louis Empty here, oops, in the blue trunks on Abbasid Dynasty, up against Yui Metal in the yellow trunks on Delhi. So far in the series, Louis Empty is up 3-2. So Yui Metal is backs against the wall, but he's managed to already correct the score by 1 so far, after trailing 3-1 after game 4. So we're here on Altai. And big thanks to Back Magoon for hosting this tournament. I'm not sure if anyone's actually covered it yet, other than myself and him, and he doesn't cast in English. So fairly standard. Fish production, piety, and no doubt going to be looking to get sanctity in H2 to take advantage of the fact that the scholars are really the only H2 religious unit that's able to actually capture the sacred sites this early on. So Louis MT's actually put the House of Wisdom here because I guess he can just go for a house here and then have production facilities around here. Mustn't actually cover the whole area if he puts it right here, maybe. You've got to put a lot of thought in where you're actually putting your buildings as an Abbasid player. If you really want to make the most value out of Golden Age. So maybe if it was further over it wouldn't link up. I'm just wondering if that's... I'm wondering if that's inefficient. Like if he had it over here, if it would actually be worth it. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to surmise. Not an Abbasid player. Not a high level player. I could be, but I'm lazy. So Tower of Victory here for Yui Metal. Actually gives a nice little attack speed steroid. The buildings produced within influence range of the tower. I'm not sure if that buff actually lasts until the unit dies or if it's just for a certain amount of time or distance from the Tower of Victory. Because 20% attack speed just sounds massive, especially with archers. I mean, it's obviously still useful for, you know, spears or man-at-arms, but like 20% attack speed. Former hack and slash player here. Attack speed is the most important stat in the game. So we got a trade wing. So 3 free traders here for Louis MT, and he's going to try and wall in this side. Well, this is quite a long wall he's actually going to have to go for. Wonder if he's better off putting it back here because it really shortens the amount of wood he's got to spend. But I guess it also means that Yui Metal can't just bring a villager to chop through, which is another thing that you can do. Because if players are really trying to skimp on spending on the wood on their palisade walls, you know, by putting them here, all you got to really do is bring a single villager, chop down the trees immediately next to the wall, and you can just wander straight through. So I do wonder if it's the way to go here. Looks like Yui Metal's actually just going to camp the center of the palisade wall, prevent it from being built. So Louis Empty's going to want to deal with this Although that's a nice trade line that he's already going to have access to, because the House of Wisdom with the trade wing, effectively that's a drop-off market point. Or you got horseman production at double the regular train speed because there's a single scholar garrison there. Sanctity. Well, Piety's been cancelled in order to squeeze in Sanctity. I forgot that if you cancel upgrades on Delhi, you actually keep the progress, which is really, really cool, I think. Though he's trying to find a way to get a wall off completely here. But now by doing this, he's sort of undone the whole point of spending the extra wood on the whole wood line. And on top of that, is he going to be able to finish walling in all of this? No, he's not. So Yui Metal, quite smart there, preventing that section of the wall up, but at the same time, looks like the wall up's finished here. So Empty's going to be delayed. So Yui Metal's going to be delayed slightly while he cuts through these wall segments. Empty bringing some spears over. I didn't actually see how much that market had dropped off. Empty going for a corner market here. He really wants to ramp this economy. The spears are going to be able to fare quite well against these horsemen. Going to have some horseman production here from Louis Empty as well. No doubt anticipating range from Yui Metal, who's got range and a barracks by now. Because bearing in mind, while his opponent's investing in all this eco, and he's actually lost a villager there. While you're investing in all that eco ramping, trying to get a dock or a market or a second town center advantage over your opponent, you're setting yourself back on military until your eco count basically pays off all that difference in spending, and then starts to work in your favor with the amount of resources that you've gathered. So army values are going to favor Yui Metal, and he's actually being Delhi able to start snatching up all the sacred sites here. Single spear is going to be able to chunk a couple of these horsemen. And they've actually missed the traders, making it back with 143 gold apiece. Not bad. But control of the sacred sites is going to really help offset that. Second one just being captured right now. WMT's going to try and surround the horseman as best he can, but Yui Metal's eager to just try and kill one of these caravans or just get out of here. He's not even interested in sticking around. Will lose a couple of horsemen for his trouble and take a bit more damage on the rest. He needs to back it up to actually have the rest of this infantry comp support this. The Wolf going to slowly work away at these caravans, so eventually I think Louis MT is going to want to try and kill that thing with a spearman or a horseman. Yui Metal's actually got a market now, so he can just start dumping gold back into other resources, because it doesn't look like he's actually interested in going to Castle Age yet. He's just going to double down on a bigger food gold army for the time being. And being Delhi, he doesn't have to worry about investing gold in upgrades, he just gets them. So for now, that market, he could just pump gold back into food or gold back into wood, keep pumping out these units. And Louis Empty's still back against the wall this game with small difference in the army size. To translate to a big one if he keeps dropping units like that. He's investing in his upgrades, which are going to train faster than the Delhi upgrades, but he's got to spend the resources on them. Yeah, UE Metal just spending on more gold, more food and wood with his gold. It looks like he might be able to interrupt the traders. Because that single horseman not going to be able to hold off this 3. Well, it looks as though Luienti's actually gone for that improved traders tech, which is going to be tough for him if he actually drops the traders here. One of them falling, another one quite low there. And Louis is able to clean this up with his spears. He's trying to take a bit of an uphill battle fight here against UE Metal, who's certainly got the ranged advantage here, but focusing horsemen like that, I don't know if that's the way he should have taken that fight rather than just killing off all the spears, because now his own horsemen have all fallen to the spears. Well, Luienti did a very good job at actually cleaning up that front line of his opponents, and then having his archers focus his enemy's archers. Yeah, it looks like the traders will live on for the time being, and that upgrade should pay for itself eventually, considering he's making back an extra 35 food, but he's not able to keep fitting in more traders here. Oh no. The low caravan's been taken out by the 6 health wolf. He really should have cleaned up that wolf. He's brought villagers over too, so that's what really adds insult to injury here, is he could have just sent a single villager to clean up that wolf and he would still have that second trader. Oh, but there is also another horseman camping down here. Not a lot of a front line here for Louis left either, because this time UE Metal's actually focused down all the spears. And it looks as though he's got a small bowman count advantage. Actually, he's got a slight disadvantage now. Oh, and that... The horseman actually didn't engage the trader because UE Metals must have gone to move it at the same time that Louis' traders come past. So he sort of actually over-microed things there, in a sense. Oh no, it's just walked out of... No, he hasn't done any damage to it. Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. Now he's picked off the villager at least, got a bit of value out of that. More villagers here being sniped as well. So UE Metal's taken 8 villagers off his opponent. Really offset the trader eco. Looks like Luienti keeping it alive for the time being and starting to wall in this, prevent more of these little run-bys. Now UE Metal's got to try and cut through the whole army rather than just sneaking a single horseman or a pair of horsemen down here. There is a small army gap, but at the same time I don't think it's the end of the world. But in saying that, we're already seeing a Castle Age commitment by our Delhi player, while our Abbasid player is still in Age 2. Still need to get quite a bit of gold to go to Age 3. So it is a rough spot for our Abbasid player, with the Delhi Sultanate player now being an age up over him. All these upgrades have just been queued up. You'll love to see it. It's amazing watching good Delhi players and they just manage to go for it. They just don't forget any upgrade. They're all taken as soon as they age up. It's just nuts, man. So Luienti realizing he's got to deal a bit of damage here, because if UE Metal is on even army pop and starts adding heavy army units, it's pretty much over. There is already a Lancer out in the field, so this is going to make things quite rough because these things do hit nearly 3 times as hard as a horseman and also have much better armor against these archers, who, as good as they are against each other and against the spears, are pretty useless against late game cavalry. You really need to have crossbows or veteran spearmen to be able to deal with lancers, and you know you're going to have neither of those in the feudal age. So Louis MT trying to kite as best he can here, but without a front line, Yui Metal's able to just keep marching forward with everything he's got, cleaning up spears as best he can. Now we got a bit more of a front line emerging for Louis MT. Things evening up, but this has been great pressure here from Yui Metal. Hasn't managed to peel anything off here to try and do a little bit of harass here, but here we go. One of the Lancers is going to hit the wood line over there. And Louis MT is kind of stuck in Age 2 for the moment, which is really rough because he's continually having to fight against the Lancers, which he can't do cost effectively until he gets Castle Age. So the more that Yui Metal can keep this pressure up now, the better. Maybe the UAMT was just better off just trying to put down some random silly walls and just trying to just pray that Yui Metal didn't push into him, because it all stemmed from that engagement there, and it was one that Louis MT forced, and I don't know if he really needed to, because now he's found himself in the trap of not being able to afford Castle Age while his opponent is, you know, able to keep fielding more of these Age 3 units and even go for a forward keep now. Idlers over here. It's not good for Louis MT. It's not really much to protect the trade line now. In fact, one of these other Lancers has crept down here to mess up that Hunt Eco, and GG. Yui Metal locks up the series 3-3.